So if you're a Fairly Odd Parents fan and you watched the show for a number of years, you saw all kinds of different characters appear in the show. There's the original cast, Timmy Turner, Cosmo, Wanda, Vicky, those characters. But then as the show went on, we added some cool characters like Mr. Crocker and the Crimson Chin and Dark Laser and Chip Skylark and on and on and on, all those amazing characters. But there was one character we added in the show that some people weren't really sure why we did it. And that character is Chloe Carmichael.
Mr. President, say hello to
Chloe Carmichael. That's right, Chloe Carmichael showed up in the last 2 seasons of The Fairly Odd Parents, and everybody wants to know, Butch, why did you add Chloe Carmichael in The Fairly Odd Parents? Well, here is why I did it. It wasn't like I was laying around one day going, you know what would make the show a lot better? Adding a brand new character. Listen, trust me, we already had enough characters in Fairly Odd Parents, enough really rich characters to write some incredible stories, but there comes a time when you're working in Hollywood at a big studio, sometimes the studio comes to you and says, hey, we'd like you to add a character into the show because we think it would help us decide to keep making the show. Because Fairly Odd Parents at the time Chloe appeared had already been on the air for about 16 years. And if I wanted to keep the show going and keep all my employees employed, it was in my best interest to go, you know what? That'd be a great idea. So when Nickelodeon came to me and they said, Butch, and Nickelodeon is apparently a big giant building that can talk, I said, yes, giant Nickelodeon building. It said, well, we would like you to add a new character into the show. And I said, well, you're a giant building. You could crush me, of course I will. So I opted to add a character into the show. And Nickelodeon said, we'd really like the character to be a girl to sort of, you know, give a dual appeal, the Timmy Turner appeal for the boys and a girl character for the girls. And I said, don't we have that with Cosmo and Wanda? And then the building said, don't yell at me. And so I said, okay, I won't yell at you, building, I'm sorry. And then I will use my elevators to never let you to the top floor. It was really weird. Anyway, so we decided we're going to add a brand new girl character to the show. What should the girl's name be? I named her Chloe because I have a niece named Chloe. And that's where the name Chloe came from. I already added my daughter's names, Carly and Sophia, into Fairly Odd Parents in past episodes. So Chloe Carmichael was a great name because of the alliterative sound of her name, like Clark Kent, Chloe Carmichael, Timmy Turner. It sounded really, really cool. And that's how Chloe was born. Nickelodeon asked me to do it. And I said, sure, it was my best interest to keep the show going, to keep it rolling along, to keep my employees going, and to keep the audience entertained. What other Fairly Odd Parent stories do you want to hear? Let me know, and I'll give you some behind-the-scenes info. Until then, this is Butch Hartman in the Nickelodeon building, signing off. So weird.